Hello everyone and welcome to a truly spectacular game from the penultimate round of the Road to Miami FTX preliminaries. It is Arjun Erigaisi versus Jeffrey Shiong, two of the young players who are dominating the event so far alongside Samuel Sevian. And it's a game that really teaches us many things, like how far chess has gotten, how much it has evolved, how important it is to, let's say, castle early, and how dangerous the London system really is. So let's dive straight into it. It's a really short game, careful when playing against the London and when playing the London. So here Erigaisi opens with pawn to d4. We have knight to f6 by Shiong, bishop to f4, d5 and e3, going for the London setup with knight to f3 and knight to d2, maybe c3, c4, pawn to e6, knight to f3 and c5, striking against white center here, knight b to d2, and now usually black plays knight to c6 here or bishop to d6 to counter white's strong dark square bishop, but here we have queen to b6, developing the queen early on, going after that b2 pawn. And here there are a couple of games that have reached this position. For example, Alireza Firouzja very often plays this. Rook to b1 is the move that he plays. He defeated Dominguez with it. He lost the game to Ding with it, so it's a known position. But here we have pawn to c4, and it is now already as of move 6 that we have a completely new game. So what's the idea behind the pawn push? Well, can you capture the pawn? Let's capture it and see what happens. Well, you can, but then white has a variety of options. He can just play rook to b1, get free development in, and since it's a rapid game, maybe it's not something to go for. And the black king still has to castle. You have to develop the bishop and castle king side. So although it can be played, you don't really gain anything by it. So instead, after the c4 move, we have c captures on d4, e captures on d4, and now d captures on c4. Knight captures on c4, now attacking the queen. And here the safest move is the the most obvious move is the strongest one, and that is queen back to d8. But here we have bishop to b4 check, and this is where Shiong's troubles really start. We have bishop back to d2, bishop captures with check, queen captures, and now as the black queen is still under attack, queen back to d8. You don't really have a better square for the queen. This is covered by the queen, this is covered by the pawn, this is covered by the knight, so you have to go back to d8. So queen to d8, and now there is one move that pretty much ensures victory for white already on move 11. So feel free to pause the video and try to find this move while I give you a couple of seconds. So for those of you who were able to do it, congratulations on keeping the black king in the center of the board. And for those of you who just want to enjoy the show, it is queen to b4. That's the good stuff. We cut off the black king from castling, and there isn't a way for black to do something about this. You could go after the queen. Let's say you go knight to c6, but we still keep control of this diagonal. Queen to e3, and once queen to e7 is played, we play knight to d6 check. Now, it's similar to what actually happened in the game. In the game, we have queen to e7 right away. Now Erigaisi goes for knight to d6 with check, king to f8. Other retreats by the king are even worse. If you go here, then knight e5 now threatens knight to f7 check, so here you can just resign. So king to f8, and now knight to e5, at least now not threatening any weird checks. But you are attacking the f7 pawn, so knight to c6, attacking the queen and the knight here, but just queen to a3, and it looks like you could eliminate one of the attackers. The problem is, after captures and captures, you don't really gain all that much with this. Okay, knight to d5, but still you have a king on f8. You're gonna have a terrible time developing your pieces. White can play pretty much anything. Attack the knight here, go castles king side, and just start further developing the pieces. So instead, after queen to a3, we have knight captures on d4, grabbing the pawn here, threatening knight to c2 with monster royal fork here, or rather it's a family fork, I believe is the correct term. But now just queenside castles. This also comes with tempo, as the knight now is hanging, knight back to c6, and now knight e captures on f7. So here you can see that black is really without a move. The rook is attacked, you have to play rook to g8. Now comes bishop to c4. Look at this, the knights here on d6 and f7, the bishop slicing this way, queen slicing this way, and the rooks are controlling the open files. This rook still not controlling d file, but it is coming to e1, and it's well, it's like something you would see in a position from the Paul Morphy era. So here, bishop to d7, and of course rook h to e1. White fully mobilized his pieces, and black can only wait and see what happens. So here, knight to e8, offering a trade of knights, but now queen to h3, probably trying to bait e6 so he can go after the h7 pawn, but here we have knight to d8, now with a double attack on the f7 knight, and here it's too easy to play this. White just trades, knight captures on d8, rook captures on d8, and here knight captures on e8, and it was in this position on move 21 that Jeffrey Xiong resigned the game, as there is nothing more to be done here. So truly a spectacular display of the power of the London system against an uncastled king. I mean, this is just so quickly everything that could have gone wrong has gone wrong for black. White had full mobilization of his forces, and I mean, how often do you see a position like this on move 21 between such strong players? The problem is, if you capture with the king, then we just go here, bishop captures on e6, and now black's position just falls apart. There's really nothing to be done here, and instead, if you go for rook captures, it seems like it's a little bit better, but let's say queen f3 check, and that's it. You don't have a move with the king. You have to play queen f7 or queen to f6, but whatever you play, it's a free bishop. Rook captures on d7, and black resigns due to severe loss of material. So yeah, after knight captures on e8, Xiong resigned, and a brilliant victory for Arjun Erigaisi in this penultimate round of the FTX Road to Miami preliminaries. We'll see how it goes. We're going to show at least one more game from the final round, and then we are going to discuss the standings, what is happening, and who is advancing to the main event, as only 8 out of 16 players are advancing. So brilliant game. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and always take good care when facing the London system. You have to have something nicely prepared against it. So yeah, that's the game. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I would like to thank Steven Abrams, Nagarjuna Pungotti, David Bacon, Ravishing Reptiles YouTube, and Gregory Piatetsky for your contribution to my channel. Thank you a lot. I really appreciate it. As usual, you can check 2 of my previous videos here. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you soon, continuing the coverage of this wonderful event until it finishes. So thank you all. I will see you soon, and have an excellent rest of your day.